Good evening, everyone. My name is Rudy Page, and welcome to another edition of A Chapter from My Life and Book. This week we've got General Saint, and we're going to hear about his new book. Also, what makes this a special edition with EALING Libraries, of course. It's Global Entrepreneurship Week, and so we're really pleased that EALING Libraries has agreed to this special edition. Right. Good evening, Nick. How are you doing?
Good evening, Rudy. I'm good, thank you. Thank you for having me along. And hi, Winston. Nice to see you.
Hi, Nick. Nice to meet you, man. Really nice to meet you.
Great. And General Saint, how's it going?
I'm good, my brother. I'm good. Just nice to be here with you guys. It's an honor. It's an honor.
Thank you very much. So tell us a bit about yourself in terms of where you grew up, family background.
Well, about myself, I was born and grew up in Jamaica. I came to the UK at the age of 17 to join my mother and my 3 siblings. You know, had a wonderful life in Jamaica. Came here, started to college, then move on to music, which I started sparring, going around in Eastwood, and my first recording was with Barrington Levy actually, and then a good friend, idol of mine. I wouldn't say a good friend, the idol of mine, General Echo, died in Jamaica, and I did a tribute to him with Eastwood, tribute to General Echo, and that was my first #1 record. And then I moved on to another one, Bite the Dust, yes, which was #1 for about 14 weeks. And then I moved on to a few more #1s, and then come Stop That Train, which was my biggest of all. So I've toured this country times and times again. Probably the first DJ to do the Old Grey Whistle test, Top of the Pops, some 80s old television shows in the 80s. I was part of it.
Yeah, we remember.
So yeah, I was a big part of the BBC in the 80s when it comes to reggae. Yeah. And I move on. Then we had Stop That Train, had a big hit in Europe as well, across Holland, Germany, France, Belgium. And, I tour Europe extensively as well. And yeah, so, that's my career in a nutshell.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Thanks for that. So Nick, over to you.
What was your inspiration? Why did you write this book?
Tell you something, Nick, my inspiration came from different sectors. Right. First, I did an album, my latest album, which is called True Survivor. When I did the album, there was a track on the album called Soldier. And, my co-producer, which is, Robbie Tyndale, is an animator as well. And he wanted to do an animation video for the song. I said, I wasn't too keen on it, but I said, go do what you're doing. And he did it. And straight away, I have people saying, wow, Saint, that looks like a game. That looks like a game. So the penny dropped for me because, I'm always wanted to, I always try to innovate and, keep myself going in different things, not just music. And I decided, okay, I'm going to develop a game. It's difficult to develop a game. You need money, you need serious money to do anything like that. But challenges, I love challenges. So I said, okay, I don't have the money, but what I've got is a storytelling brain. I can tell stories. So any good game or film or anything within the entertainment realm, music starts on a good story. It's what you write about. So I decided to start on a story, and I wrote a story called Soldier Kingdom Rise. Okay. But what I did, I embodied that story with with fiction and non-fiction. So you got big part of the story is fiction, and then there's a small part of it which is because I wanted the game to also teaches, the player about our history, about our culture. So Nanny, which is the book, is the non-fiction of my story. And when I completed that, it's almost like my ancestors came to me and said, no, you need to write about Nanny. You need to get that pencil back in your hand and write about Nanny. And you need to do it old school style. No computer, no, laptop, do it old school style. And I wrote 67,000 words, old school style.
Really?
And, 37 chapters. And it turned out to be a wonderful, wonderful book. No writer's block for about 3 months, constantly, every day.
Excellent. So that kind of brings me to another point. So because you've used both ancient and modern African themes that also reflect the impact of Jamaica. So, so what was your thinking behind this approach? You largely explained broadly, but what were the kind of specific drivers that you felt, well, there's a place in Jamaica in this story?
I wanted to, the ancient side of it was the story is based, the story of the game is based on the Ankh.
Yeah.
So that was my ancient side of it, because I wanted to base the story on something that has never been done before. I wanted to be original about the story, and the Ankh has never been portrayed the way it's supposed to portray. So I did that. The other side of it, which is the Jamaican side of it, is basically originality. There's never a game based in Jamaica, literally based in Jamaica, based in the cockpit country, based in Jamaica 2063. So I wanted to show how Jamaica would look, in 2063. So that was my whole thing about that. Yeah.
Brilliant. So Nick?
What's your hope that young people could take from your story or build from that?
Well, for one, Nanny, if we're talking about the book, it's such a she's such a powerful woman that a lot of our kids today, young people, and not only Black, because we, as me growing up as a Black child, I knew about Joan of Arc, I knew about Boudica, I knew about all these women that triumph in their fight against whatever. But Nanny was not taught to our kids in that way. So we don't know much of the children of today who growing up, and big people. I remember I was sitting in a restaurant a few months ago, and I was talking to a Jamaican woman, and she's about 65, 66 years old. And she's been in England from she's a young girl. And she asked me, what's your story about? And I told her, I said to her, do you know about Nanny? And she said, no. And this is a woman this is a Jamaican woman at 60-something years old, don't know about the woman who is on the $500 bill, our first national hero, a woman who fought that we can walk the street free today. I mean, she did that for us. So that is, one of my main thing. I want to get this book into the schools. I want it to be in your library. I want it, because even though the story is from my perspective, it's telling you, it's giving, because the British didn't give us much on Nanny. They gave us a lot of hypnosis on her. And so, you know, people pick little different things. You know, at one stage they said, oh, she catch a bullet with a bomb, and, you know, stupid little things like that. And you're saying, yeah, they just wanted to look stupid, innit? Because who's going to believe that? But what I did, I gave the readers a story, something that they can say, they can receive and say, okay, we know her. This is her. We know her. And that's exactly what I set out to do. And most people that I read to, you know, especially my chapter 1 that I read all the time, they all say the same thing. 100 people, if I read to 100 people, they all say the same thing. I feel like I'm there. I feel like I'm there with her. I'm in that thing. So yeah, this is what I wanted to give young people. I wanted to give young people something that we, you know, this is our era. We talk about Black Panther. We talk about, you know, all these superhero who is not real. And we're trying to talk about, you know, I'm trying to talk about someone who was real and who was a superhero because she fought the British and won. You know what I'm saying? When the Britain was the greatest empire at the time. So yeah, that's it.
A question off of that is that why you sort of picked a game as a way to spread the message? It was a good way to create a superhero.
Yes.
Tell us more about Aqua Blue Games. You know.
Well, you know,
inspiration was. So tell us more about the game itself.
Right. Going from taking it from the question what Nick asked me. You know, when I was a kid growing up, I learned things if I'm entertained. I learn things quick. You know, you want to teach me the ABC, let me sing it. Right. You want to teach me the timetable, let me sing it. So I'm entertained doing it. So I wanted to do that with my old story. You know, entertain. You know, learn while you've been entertained. Soldier Kingdom Rise is a story that based in 2063 Jamaica. It's a story that I wrote coming from a planet called Luminous Prime to another planet called Eden. Now, Eden is a planet of, you know, that's where we come from. You know, it's a planet with 7 kingdoms, and each kingdom have its own kings and queens. But Eden was attacked for the Ankh. And Katumi had to leave because Katumi is a soldier that was born to protect the Ankh. And the Ankh is his navigation. The Ankh takes him where he wants to go. And the Ankh take him into the Cockpit Mountain of Jamaica, crash him in the Cockpit Mountain of Jamaica. So then the story of the whole thing began because Magna, who is the evil one, have to find the Ankh, and, you know, then 3 soldiers are born on Earth to protect the Ankh: Sankofa, Iceni, and Princess Amali. Each soldiers are born in different places. Sankofa born in Jamaica from Nani bloodline. They're all born from warrior bloodline, from Nani bloodline. Then Princess Amali born in South Africa from Shaka Zulu bloodline. And then Iceni born in London from Boudica bloodline. So 3 kids are born from what I call their mother path carriers. And the story goes. It's a big story.
I'm interested to hear a bit more about Magna. Tell us about Magna, because you describe Magna as...
Right. Magna now is, you know, Magna is going to be my backstory on the game. So on the first game, you won't see Magna, but you know, the player will want to know how this come about. So I've got the backstory. Magna was born in Luminous Prime as a prince. His mother died at child's birth, but his father remarried and have 2 other kids, Agai and his sister. And Magna always is fascinated about the Ankh. Very, very, you know, want to know what the power of the Ankh is. His father deny him that right. And some prince, every woman in Luminous Prime loves him. And then out of his own curiosity, he went into the chamber where the ankh is, and he touched it. Now, to touch the ankh, there's a prayer that you have to recite, and it changes him completely. So what I sent you on Magna, that's how he looks, but really he's an handsome prince.
Okay.
And he's now, he was in a coma for about 2 years. And when he woke up like that. Now it mentally affected him. And he's a good guy, really, but it mentally affected him. And his brother had to leave because he killed his mother, his stepmother, his sister, and his father.
Oh dear.
So his brother had to leave with the aunt, and that's when his brother ended up on Eden.
Okay.
After many years, Magda find him, and he then
We won't let you give away the story.
okay.
That's great.
And as I said, that's the backstory, because the game story starts way in the middle of that story.
Okay.
So it's very unique, because I tied some of that story into this. But the way how I did it because I tried to stay with this narrative in real. I tried to keep this narrative real. But then when you read Soldier Kingdom Rise, it's gonna answer some questions in Rebirth.
Excellent. And interestingly enough, this is the UN International Year for the Creative Economy.
Right.
And that's about creativity, how you translate ideas into economic value, great use of the intellect. So could you tell us a bit more about the animator?
Robbie.
Yeah.
Robbie is
where he's from and what have you.
Yes. Robbie Tyndale. Robbie is from Church Road. Robbie lived on Church Road.
And that's in Brent.
In Brent,
UK.
And Robbie lived in Brent all his life.
Okay.
He's a Brent man.
Okay.
He's been living on Church Road for probably 30 or more years now.
Okay.
And Robbie originally started with music and self-taught himself. So all the animation that you've seen, that I've shown you, that's a man who self-taught himself to do this. And when I join up with him with my ideas and the ideas that I give him, I had to give him equipment. I gave him equipment. I make sure he's got what he needs to work. But he keeps evolving. He keeps evolving, keep getting better and better and better with the images. I mean, you're going to see the advertisement that he's doing for the book in animation. I mean, it's never been done before, and that's how we are doing things. We are setting precedents. We are doing groundbreaking work. Innovation. And we're doing it right around the corner. It's in Brent, it's in Church Road. That's where we're doing it from.
Yeah, no, that's great. So as you mentioned earlier on, you have won numerous awards as an international performer and producer.
Yeah.
So why is reggae music so important to this overall enterprise for you?
What I would say, Rudy, reggae is important to me, but all music is important to this enterprise. African music, music from different genre is important to this enterprise. As I said, reggae music is a personal thing because that's what I do. Yeah. So I will always invoke reggae music into what I'm doing, but I will invoke African music. I will invoke the drums out of Africa because that's where it starts. It's not, I wouldn't stereotype the whole thing to reggae music. I'll stereotype it to the music of our culture, the music of where we, you know what I'm saying? So that's where we are.
Yeah, no, excellent. So will there be an album associated then with the book?
There is an album. There is an album. There's an album which is called True Survivor.
Right. Okay.
Which is record, which is everything starts from that. Everything kicks from that. There's a track on the album called Champion, where it starts, big up all the hero in the world and them a soldier. Nanny was a leader, yes, she have to be a soldier. Big up Rosa Parks, yes, me know she was a soldier. Big up all the empress in the world and them a soldier. It's a man's world, but a woman give me life. Woman give me love and compassion every time. Woman at the earth, them a mother nature. Woman give me...
So we're getting a performance. See, always a performer. You can't stop a performer.
Oh yeah, it's in the blood, it's in the DNA, my brother. It's in the DNA. Yeah. So, but you know, I mean, if you guys want me to read a chapter quickly,
yeah, why not? That's a good way to end
the thing. Okay, I got 5 minutes to do that. Yeah.
Yeah. Great.
Okay, Nick, are you ready for this one?
Ready. I'm ready.
Okay. Chapter 1: The Birth. The village of Kumasi, the year 1686. You could hear the cry of a woman. Her scream was so loud, you could hear it miles away. These were the quiet years. No cars, no planes, no electricity, only the sounds of nature. You could hear the pain in her scream. She's either been tortured or she's having a baby. There's a bonfire burning in the middle of the village. The sounds of drum echoing through the darkness. An old man sitting in front of a water bill hut making groaning sounds. His face is painted with white paint. The paint is crafted in the shape of a symbol, while a spiritual dance takes place around the fire. Another man sits directly in front of the old man. He has the perfect physique, black and handsome, with a scar on his left cheek, that looks like the scratch from the paws of some kind of animal. He looks nervous, but his nervousness is not out of fear, but of excitement. He seems anxious, yet remains calm. He looks like a man expecting something and can't wait to get it. Like a child waiting to open the first present at Christmas. The old man groaning gets louder. The drums are beating faster and the scream from the woman in the hut gets stronger. Then suddenly everything stops. There's a complete silence over the entire village. Then out from the silence, you could hear the cry of a newborn baby. A woman appeared from the hut. In her hand, she's holding the child. She holds the child to the sky and with a loud voice shout, "It's a beautiful girl." Then the drums, the dancing and the groaning from the old man starts again. The people of Kumasi know they are celebrating the birth of someone special. The woman passes the baby to the man who is sitting in front of the old man. He is now standing tall and looking proud. The midwife says with a smile on her face, "Take your daughter and give her a name." He takes his daughter with so much pride and stares into her beautiful eyes. "I will give you the name of my mother, Shariba. They will call her a different name in a different land, and she will speak a different language," said the old man. "What do you mean, old man? This is the daughter I've been waiting for all my entire life. I've got 4 sons, and now I'm blessed with a beautiful little girl. She will never leave me." "Might not be of her own free will," the old man replied. "Your words do not make sense, old man. Kojo, Johnny, Akampong, Kwayo, come and meet your sister." The father gives the baby to Kojo, who is the eldest of his son. He then enters the hut to make sure his wife is okay. There's something seriously wrong. You can tell by the look on the midwife's face. His wife is not looking good. She looks pale, as if she lost all the blood in her body. She opened her eyes and called him by his name, something she hardly ever done. She always referred to him as husband. "Obadiah, take care of our little girl. She's going to need you. The boys are going to need you. My beautiful wife, Ophelia." Obadiah falls to his knees. He holds his wife by the palm of her hand. "My love, please, I need you. Please don't leave me like this. I will always be with you, my love. But my journey has come to an end. My spirit will always be with you. Until we meet again, let me see my boys and my baby one last time. Let me say goodbye to them. The midwife goes to immediately fetch the children to say goodbye to their mother. Ophelia squeezes her husband's hand with a tight grip, then releases ever so slowly. Her last breath leaves her body. Chapter 1.
That sounds really good. Really.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, my brother. Yes. Yes, Rudy. Rudy? Where is he?
You're muted.
Excellent. Powerful. Very powerful indeed.
Thank you. Thank you.
Just before we go, can you tell us and tell everybody how best to get hold of you? You know, people who may be interested in the project, want to learn more about what you're doing.
Right. Well, you can get on my website, which is www.aquabluegames.co.uk. You can get me on my Facebook, which is Winston Islap, and you also can get me on Instagram, which is official General Saint. And the book will be out on the 22nd of this month on Amazon. So you can get the book to read on the 22nd. It's a beautiful read. So I'd love, you know, it's Nanny. I want the world to know about her. So yeah, I would love everyone to go out and get the book.
Absolutely. Great.
Thanks.
So thanks for that. As usual, Nick, I'm going to leave the last word to you.
Winston, it was an absolute pleasure meeting you.
Yeah, man.
You're an interesting person, and I'm really looking forward to reading your book. Also, if you need a game tester to test your game when it's ready, I'm more than happy to have a go on it.
Oh, wicked. Wicked. You know, Nick, you know what game is all about. We need testers. We need people who can do that. And yes, most definitely, I'll keep you on top of that. Yeah. Hopefully we start the discovery stage very soon. And so yeah, good. Yeah, because I'm going to create a demo first, which is probably about 15 minutes or something like that. So yeah, I'm going to keep you really intact of every minute, every second of the demo, so you can let me know are we going on the right direction. Yeah, definitely, my brother. And I also hope that you could help me to get the book into the library.
We would definitely.
There's a bit of a lobby in there as well.
Well, why not? Why not?
Oh, why not?
Why not? It's where I want it, and Nick is a perfect man to ask first.
Exactly.
So whether it can happen through him or not, I will ask.
We do our best.
Thank you, guys.
Right, so that's Rebirth, a Maroon Warrior.
Yeah.
From author Winston Hislop. So thank you very much, and good night,
guys.
See you all again. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.